Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 4 of the Razor King of the Beta tournament. We have two epic matches coming up today. We got Whitera versus IntoTheRainBOw and Huck against Tester. Before we talk about Whitera versus IntoTheRainBOw that will be played first, let's talk a little bit about match 2, Huck against Tester. Now, Tester, as many of you know, is on the pro team OGS along with IntoTheRainBOw, and their team has been performing absolutely brilliantly in some of the GOM TV team leagues. Pretty much any tournament out there is really won by OGS or Prime, and OGS Tester's team really is shown through as the #1 team out there right now. Tester is a beastly Protoss who many consider to be the best player in the world. He won the Altitude Team Liquid Invitational, and in virtually all his other tournaments just rips through his opponents with a very creative and aggressive Protoss play. And Huck is 0-2 in his group right now. Despite really impressive series against both the Little One and Idra, Huck went 1-2 with both of them. So Huck is fighting for a chance to stay alive in this tournament. If Tester wins, Tester will be 2-0 in his group and will almost be guaranteed a spot in the top 4. Now, in Whitera versus IntoTheRainBOw, which is our first match coming up today, let's also introduce the players. IntoTheRainBOw, also on Tester's team, OGS. IntoTheRainBOw played Protoss originally in Brood War, but has since moved on to Terran in Starcraft 2, and in many of the individual leagues, that's where IntoTheRainBOw has really shown through. He's been getting top 4 in a number of South Korean Starcraft 2 lands, and has proved, in his games against Demaga, that IntoTheRainBOw can abuse you very hard if you are not careful. IntoTheRainBOw already 2-0 Demaga. He is currently 1-0 in his group. Whitera is 1-1 in the group right now, defeating QXC, but losing to Demaga yesterday. So Whitera, again, if he wins this, he's almost guaranteed a spot in the top 2, as well as IntoTheRainBOw. If Whitera loses, on the other hand, he's not out yet. He would have to hope for some miracle 3-way tie in order to try to advance to the round of 8. But without any further ado, we will be going into these games, but we always have to thank our incredibly kick-ass sponsor, Razor, for providing the prize pool for this tournament and making it all happen. For those of you who didn't know, I have used Razor products for years in my tournaments, and of course, they've always helped so much. You have unbelievably excellent mouse precision. I've used the Diamondback for, I believe, 6 years now. And if you didn't already know, Razor is coming out with a StarCraft 2 exclusive line of hardware, a mouse, keyboard, and headset that all integrate with the StarCraft software. I had a chance to play with it at E3, and as any competitive gamer knows, the feel of the hardware is critical, that it feels right, and that mouse just fits beautifully in your hand. I personally use a claw grip, works great, and I definitely recommend it. It has a lovely weight to it. So without any further ado, let us jump directly into Game 1 between Whitera and IntoTheRainBOw. This is a Protoss vs. Terran coming up, a best of 3. Whitera 1-1 in Group A, Tester 1-0 in Group A. A lot's riding on this. This will decide a lot of what happens in the later stages of the tournament. Who will be advancing to round of 4 coming up on the 27th, and who will be progressing out of the tournament, really. So we will be moving on in just 1 second when the game loads up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 between Whitera and IntoTheRainBOw. We have IntoTheRainBOw spawning in the bottom left as the blue Terran. The map is Steps of War. And in the top right, we have Whitera spawning as the red Protoss. And look at this, Whitera already preparing for some cheese. Whitera going straight for the jugular, moving to the north side of the base. Will he see anything? Oh my god! Oh my god, he just barely missed it! Whitera is already building a pylon. There's absolutely nothing that IntoTheRainBOw can do about it. I cannot believe he missed out on that. Almost every Terran player pokes up to the right and then over to ensure that they don't get any sort of units into their base, no sort of early cheese, and he missed it by like a hair. And a lot of times, players will build down here. There's a little bit of extra space, but Whitera going for the slightly riskier, slightly bigger payoff spot at the north end of IntoTheRainBOw's base. Is he saving Chrono Boost? No, he is spending 1 Chrono Boost on his probes to make sure he has at least some economy during this huge attack, but oh my god, look at IntoTheRainBOw. Has already thrown down his barracks, and it is not even close to catching up to this one gateway. This one Zealot will come out very quickly, and Zealots, as you know, rip apart Marines. Marines are very, very weak in this game. Not going to be an easy situation for IntoTheRainBOw at all. Second gateway going down. This is horrible position for IntoTheRainBOw. He's making a refinery. He's not going to be making a second barracks early on, so that means he has absolutely no preparedness for it. But of course, he sees the probe, knows something's up, and now he has spotted those 2 gateways. I think that was a big big blunder by Whitera to have done that, to have revealed exactly what he was doing by revealing that probe. So it looks like some harassment going on by Whitera. That first Zealot has been chrono boosted. Whitera getting a little bit stuck. Whoa, he just barely manages to make it out. Second barracks going down for IntoTheRainBOw. He canceled that gas, wants to make sure he has enough units to stay alive. Here comes the first Zealot. Now the bunker's going down, but Whitera already has the Zealot out. He's starting to whack away at these SCVs, trying to micro back. Oh my god, look at the range on that Zealot. Managing to take out one SCV that was trying to retreat. 3 SCVs looks like they will fall, but that Zealot didn't do nearly as much damage as Whitera would have liked. One of these gateways isn't even producing yet. IntoTheRainBOw trying to micro back right now. Looks like he will be able to do the loop-de-loop and evade the Zealot for now. So Whitera is in a little bit of a tough position, but if we go to the resource counting station, we can see that Whitera is not far behind yet. Looks like IntoTheRainBOw trying to do a little bit of micro, pull these Zealots back to this bunker. One huge advantage of the range. These Zealots are not faster than the Marines, so the Marines can back up and run to safety. It looks like tries to get an extra shot off. Ooh, very risky by IntoTheRainBOw right there. Meanwhile, back in Whitera's base, making a good amount of probes, wants to have some sort of continuation for this, whacking away at some of the SCVs, managing to take out one, but Whitera, oh, has to be really careful with those Zealots, as it looks like IntoTheRainBOw being very aggressive with his Marines, trying to clean up this mess immediately, but one supply depot at the front is taken down. IntoTheRainBOw supply blocked, and Whitera, in a very unusual situation, has like half an advantage. Oh my god, look at the Marine count. Looks like IntoTheRainBOw will be able to do some great control, like spreading those Marines out in a big semicircle to ensure that those Zealots cannot trap any of the Marines off guard. Whitera going to be doing a full out-and-out retreat right now, at the very least trying to make sure he can get some more Zealots up to do some kind of magic against this ever-increasing Marine count by IntoTheRainBOw. The orbital command only just now started. Wow, Whitera delaying that tremendously. Still a very low SCV count. One refinery just now started. Whitera trying to run around in circles has finally gotten that other barracks to lift and is now pulling back to this bunker in a defensive position. Whitera's pulling back now. These Marines are going to have to be careful, but again, these Marines, you can control them so well, given the fact that the speeds are equal between the Zealots and the Marines, and it looks like Whitera's doing a great job of trying to keep these 2 gateways alive. Cybernetics core finished now, so Stalkers are going to be able to come out any second now. There's the first Stalker coming up, but IntoTheRainBOw is bunker pushing this north area. Whitera needs to keep those gateways alive, but one more Zealot does manage to fall, so it's going to be serious problems for Whitera. Oh my god, IntoTheRainBOw doing some great job controlling. Whitera just needs this one Stalker out. These Zealots are falling rapidly. Whitera just needs one out because it can outrange these Marines, and it's going to be the one hope that Whitera can have to survive this attack. There's one Stalker out. One Marine does go down. A lot of Marines falling right now, and this bunker is almost finished. Whitera getting target fired, and he will have to pull back very soon if he wants to be able to hope to stay alive. Whitera trying to snipe off some of these Marines, again abusing that slightly longer range of the Stalker, but IntoTheRainBOw just controlling a little bit too well at this point in time. Oh my god, that second Stalker pops out just in time. Lucky Whitera trying to swing around. One of the Stalkers does fall, and IntoTheRainBOw has somewhat of a lead. He's finally feeling comfortable. He's planting down more barracks. Tech labs going down, but meanwhile, back in Whitera's base, he does have more gateways going down, trying to have some sort of good recovery, and until then, he's microing around, trying to pick off as many SCVs as he can. There goes down one right now. Stalkers so fast, have such good range, a very versatile unit in the early stages of the game, and Whitera really showing us how to do it. Looks like this early push by Whitera finally going to be defended by IntoTheRainBOw, and you will be able to salvage those bunkers and mount some sort of counteroffensive. Oh my god, look at this. Very nice play, getting this concussive shell early, getting the Marauders up, not over-committing to killing these gateways early on, as he knows he needed to first deal with the threat of this Stalker. So at this point in time,